Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my first video. This story is called The Crying Camel, but before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe and smash that bell notification button so you never miss a new video. So let's get started. It was a hot summer day in the city of Medina. People went to the shade of the trees or the luscious gardens. Among them was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was walking under the shade of the trees, giving everyone salams and quietly thinking to himself. While he was walking, the Prophet heard a noise. It was the sound of crying. The Prophet ﷺ could tell that he or she was very sad and moved closer. But then he realized that it was not a person crying, but a camel. It had parched skin and looked excruciatingly thirsty. She had no shade and was tied to a post. Muhammad ﷺ stroked the camel, and soon it became much, much happier. It realized that Muhammad ﷺ was his friend. All of a sudden, the Prophet felt bad for the camel. Its owner was probably in the shade with enough water, and yet this camel had none. He cried out, "Who owns this camel?" And a voice cried, "I do." Muhammad ﷺ took a look at him. He was well hydrated in the shade. The camel, on the other hand, was barely hydrated and not in the shade. Muhammad ﷺ told him that the camel was one of Allah's creations and it should be well looked after, and that Allah loves animals as they are one of His creations. All of a sudden, the camel's owner became very guilty. He realized that he was not sharing Allah's blessings and with one of Allah's creations, even though he had more than enough of them. And from that day on took care of all of his animals, and the camel never cried again. So, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider giving a like and subscribing. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.